Thanks for joining us for the Member xCite presentation. The Member xCite presentation is informative, interesting to the audience, and showcases the strengths of the presenter as an entrepreneur and their area of expertise. It's not a sales pitch, it's a 10-minute educational and insightful exploration into what they do. And of course, it's exciting.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our xCite presenter today, Nabil Salameh from Quantum Business Advisors, to present to us on Double My Profits. Yeah, but how? Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Nabil Salameh.
So I titled my talk, Can I Really Double My Profits? And so I just want to have a show of hands. Who's interested in actually doubling your profits?
Oh yeah.
6 months,
Yes.
12 months? We're in the right room, aren't we? Fantastic. Now, before I actually get started on that, I want to just ask you, I've got something in my hand here. What do you think this is?
$1.
A $1 coin. Okay, let's say this is a magical dollar coin. And this coin has a magic power and that it doubles every day. And for the next 30 days, it's going to double. So today it's $1, tomorrow it's $2, the day after, doubling 2 is 4, and then the following day 8, and so on and so forth. So I'm going to give you an opportunity to either take this dollar coin off me and cash it in after 30 days, or I'm going to write you a check for $1 million. So which one would you take?
30 days.
30 days?
Yeah.
Okay. And I would take $1 million right here, right now. Thank you, Maria. Okay. All right. So let's up the ante. Say $10 million. Oh, Lucy. Let's say $100 million. Okay. You are shortchanging yourself. Because the reality is, if you double this dollar for 30 days, this is the law of compounding. What it ends up being is $536 million plus dollars at the end of the day. And what the graph looks like is this. It's ridiculous. Now, we're not talking about doubling every day. And reality in business, we can't do that, can we? It'd be lovely to be able to say, tomorrow our business is double where it is now, but that ain't going to happen. So what we're talking about here is really, I've jumped the gun here, is really some very simple strategies that are gravitated to, which are just a dozen strategies that really are no cost or low cost that I work with my clients implementing. Now, I call myself a profit growth strategist. Yes, I'm a business coach, but I've gravitated to being very strategic and very intentional in the way I work with my clients. So there's a lot of things around business where there's a lot of tactics being implemented, and some of them work, and a lot of them do work, but when you actually take the step back and actually operate it strategically, it can make a massive difference. So why do I call myself a profit growth strategist? Because profit is important. We've had a very challenging time, lockdown for 2 years, especially here in Melbourne. So it's really hit home about how difficult it has been. We've come out of that. Some of my clients are growing so ridiculously hard, it's not funny, but there's still challenges around the cash flow, employing staff, the economic circumstances are taking their toll. So really, what we're talking about is taking that step back and being very intentional on that growth journey. So the 12 strategies that are the ones that are my go-to strategies, like I said, are no cost or low cost. Who would be interested in actually seeing what they are? Show of hands? Everyone, excellent. Okay, so let's bring up what the strategies are. Okay.
All right, I'll do it. I'll take it. I'll take on the team. You know what? $100 million, I'm still taking that. That's fine. I don't need more than that.
That's saying something.
I think I'll be good milk right now.
Okay.
Right?
You love when technology works and it doesn't, it's doing okay.
Saying we should
Okay, so these are things
Saying
that
which rubber thing. That's all I'm saying.
are very easy to throw out and say you can do this and get a lot of gains. And the reality is, when you do something, how you do it is as important as what you do. So what do I mean by that? Simple things like upsell and cross-sell. Anyone who's been to McDonald's now, they've got value meals, but anybody who's been to McDonald's in the old days, you go and they say, would you like fries with that? And they upsell you that. And now it's all packaged together. That's their bundling strategy. And it works a treat, because for a small incremental cost, you get a lot more, and they make a truckload more money. So these are very simple things. Upsell, cross-sell is one of my favorites. I work with this cafe in Albert Park, and by using that one strategy, we increased their average sale on what people were coming and buying by 79%. So that's no simple thing. When you think about a business that just increases by 79% with one strategy, that leaves a big dent in terms of having some returns on, making headway from a cash flow point of view. So these are the go-to strategies that I use. Now, one of the things around this is you have to go back to basics. So with marketing, a lot of businesses really challenge in terms of articulating what they do. And then we at DX here stand up and we give 40 seconds and we really get more focused. And as we go on with our membership, we hone our skills a lot more. But if you're a plumber and you're not really clear and very specific about what you do and what differentiates you from the rest of the plumbers, then you're really going to struggle. You're really going to be competing on price. So having that market domain position is really critical in terms of getting some headway with that. And having a compelling offer. What is it that attracting people to use your services? So all of these things really tie in. So one of the things that I do is I do a profit assessment, a profit acceleration assessment, I call it, with my clients. And I do have a bit of a show and tell here, which I'm going to bring up to. Now, for some reason, it's not actually changed. Second.
There we go, Nabil, we've got something.
Okay, all right. So here we go with what I call my profit acceleration assessment simulator. So if we look at what we talked about before around these strategies, yeah. How much do you think we need to make a difference in each of those areas for us to really get a massive increase in our profits? Remember what I started off with? I said, how would you like to do what? Double your profits, okay? So with those 12 areas, how much do you think we'd need to increase to actually get a doubling of profits? Any idea? Okay. Because of the compounding effect of working on 12 different areas, in actual fact, if we just take a simple scenario of a business that might be turning over $1 million. Now, for some of us in BX, that's, whoa, I'd love to get down up to that level at some stage. But let's take a business turning over $1 million. Whether it's $1 million or 100,000 is immaterial. Most businesses have costs in terms of acquiring the sales and material and goods and things like that, and they end up with a net profit margin. If we make an assumption that the net profit margin, once you pay out all of the expenses, is 20%, that $1 million business is turning over net and keeping $200,000. Now, if we actually increase each of those areas by 2.63%, 2.63%, that's under 3%, what you find is that the profit increases by 100% because of the compounding effect. Now, what does 2.63% mean? Let's say 3%. If you are generating 100 leads in a year, now you're generating 103. Is that a big increase? No! It's a tiny, piddling little increase, but the compounding effect accumulates on top of the next thing. So at the end of the day, the strategic approach is really taking that step back and saying, okay, which of these strategies do I need to implement in my business? Thank you, Jemima. And how am I going to achieve these incremental increases? So let's say of the 12, you think, oh, I don't really want to do 12. Let me just look at doing 5 of those 12. To double your profits, all you really need to do is in those 5 areas, and whoops, no, that's not 10%.
There's a pig in the corner.
We've all been there, Nabil, it's nothing worse.
Okay, yeah, thank you. So there's, if we just go 5%, and we'll just do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then we go. So even if you do that in 6 areas, it is just a tiny 5%. So you go from 100 leads to 105. Then you're doing an incremental change in each of those areas, and you're still doubling the profits. So I use the simulator, and I sit down with the business owner, and we just talk about their business. So a great introduction for me is really tying down to speaking with an accountant, for example, who services my client base. My ideal client is a mature business, one that's got a bit of mass, a volume that's going through it. Because when I work with my clients, there's some awesome results that can be had by generating more cash flow. And this is really one of the things in this economic circumstances that we've got now. It's about generating more and being able to fulfill the vision that they have. At the end of the day, I am on a mission. Through COVID, I actually donated a lot of my time towards helping business owners and helping them pro bono to actually really wake up to a better way of running their businesses. And I'm continuing that journey through things. Thank you very much.